Welcome to this week's Sunday supper video. Today we are having chicken pot pie, and I am just starting off making the crust. Now, I will be totally honest, I do not usually do this, but when I went to the store to get everything for this chicken pot pie, I forgot, well, I got the two pie shells, but I forgot the two pie crust, and I also forgot the mixed vegetables, so I had to improvise, and that meant I had to make the pie crust myself. Well, while I can bake bread, I know that I am not the worst baker. I cannot do pie crust. I think I just get so in my head like I'm going to mess it up that I end up messing it up. So I was reading all of the everything that it said it needed to be really cold butter and it needed to be really cold water and don't over mix it. It was like all in bold and I'm like, okay, so that means like I need to like barely touch this thing. So I am just cutting in the butter here with the pastry blender. And I'm thinking the whole time, like, don't overmix this. So then I add the water and I'm like trying to be as careful as possible. If you make pie crust, you're probably laughing at me, which is fine because I'm laughing at me watching this back because I just, in my head, I'm going, don't mess this up. Don't overwork it. Don't overdo it. Don't overwater it. Like, it, and so it ended up being very dry. But I was trying not to mess it up. So then when I'm cutting it, I'm like, this just looks very dry. I don't, and but I thought, okay, it's still gonna work. And it did work. It just was not, it was not pretty. Anyways, so I get that done. And I let that chill for about 2 hours in the refrigerator. And then I start on the onion. So I'm just going to chop the onion up and get that ready to go into the pot. But after I cook the chicken. So I just wanted to get this onion chopped first so I could get that out of the way before I start chopping the chicken and getting that cooked. So, what are you making for dinner tonight? Let me know in the comments. I need some meal inspiration. I think I asked this in one of my other videos, but what are I think I was asking for crock pot meals. I think that's what I was asking for. But what are you making for dinner tonight? Let me know in the comments. I can always use some good meal ideas because I am just that's why I'm making this chicken pot pie because I was just so tired of making the same thing all the time. I was like, you know what? Tonight we're having chicken pot pie. We haven't had it in a while. Typically, I don't cook chicken pot pie in the summertime because it's just so hot and, you have to heat up the house when you make chicken pot pie. So typically, I don't make it during the summer, but it was really cool this day. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to make it. So, yeah. So, what are you having for dinner? Let me know in the comments below. Now I am just making the filling, and so the recipe I use is just like I think it's the Pillsbury original pie, or chicken pot pie, I think is what it's called. I had someone make this for me a long time ago. I think Adam and I had just gotten married, and it was so good. And I asked them for the recipe, and this was the recipe they gave me, and I've just always made it. It's just such a classic. That might be what it's called. Pillsbury classic a chicken pot pie. But anyways, that's the recipe I use and it works every time and it turns out great and it's just so delicious. So I will definitely link it below. I'm sure that you have your own chicken pot pie recipe. But if you don't and you wanted to make it, it is seriously just the easiest and most basic chicken pot pie recipe, but it is delicious. Since I didn't have the mixed vegetables, I just ended up using a can of green beans that I had in the cabinet. So, and it still turned out great. And so, as you see here, that pie crust is the ugliest pie crust on the planet. But it did the trick, you know. It wasn't the prettiest, but it did the trick. It covered the pie, and that's all I cared about. So, again, I'm not a pie crust. I don't make pie crust well. So, but it was good. But anyways, you know, hey, at least I admit that I'm not good at making pie crust, you know. I can get on here and say, "Oh, it's so pretty." No. And see, it was so rock hard trying to roll it out, and then it was like sticky, and yeah, it's not my thing. I will just continue to buy the pie crust, but at least I know, like, in the future, if I ever have this problem again, that I can make it. And I do know that I just need to add a little bit more water and not be so afraid of making it, messing it up. I kept reading that do not overmix it or do not, you know, overwork it. And I'm like, okay, this is me. I'm gonna mess it up. That's just who I am. So, anyways, it was good. It wasn't the prettiest, it was ugly, but it was still good, so I can't complain. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed coming along with me while I made Sunday dinner. I hope that maybe I could keep you company while you're making dinner. Let me know again down below what you're making tonight, and Lord willing, I will see you on the next one.